Hi everyone, I was going to make another quick fix video, how to fix things video on this vacuum cleaner hose. So what happened, I've already fixed it, but it's held up for months now and it doesn't seem to be, it seems like it's really good. So what happened is on this top ridge like this, now there's these ridges, you can see that, and like say you're looking at it from an aerial view, like these are the ridges, there was just a pin hole like this, and how it got there was perfectly round. How it got there is I sucked up a toothpick, and the toothpick came through and it made this just circular hose. So this thing isn't coming unraveled, or there's no slices in it or anything. So initially I did put the duct tape on there, well, I'd used black electrical tape, but it didn't hold up for very long and it kept coming off and it just really wasn't working. So then I took it off. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to get a new, I don't want to get a new vacuum, and I don't want to order another hose too. So I'm looking around on YouTube and they're talking about, this doesn't really seem, it's different than the ones on there, this fitting on here. And they were saying, well, just cut it off and then screw it back in. And I'm just like, well, this hose is already short too to begin with. I don't really want to shorten it any. So I was just like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to get a new vacuum, blah, blah, blah. So I set it aside, and then I couldn't find the hole, so I had a white, it's actually acrylic paint marker. And so I ran water through it to find the hole again, and then I just marked it with the acrylic paint marker. And because the paint marker happened to be acrylic, it sort of just almost filled in the hole, you know. And I'm just like, man, I should just patch this like you would patch a, if I had to do it all over again, I would just use silicone for the whole thing. But this, I just was winging it with the stuff that I had around my house. And, you know, I was like, well, you know, that acrylic filled in, but it's not going to hold clearly. It's just a real thin layer of acrylic, you know, on there. So what I did was, what this is, I made a little patch just wide enough for the rim. And what I used was just a piece of, I had a pack of gum laying around. I just ripped off a little piece of cardboard, on so thin cardboard. The acrylic was already there, so that sealed the hole somewhat. But I'm just like, I don't want it, you know, I want something solid there so the vacuum isn't going to suck. You know, if I turned the vacuum on, it would have sucked that acrylic thing right in. So I made this little patch that is just a little slit, just big enough to fit on this rim. And then what I did, because I didn't have any silicone, I went over it with clear nail polish, because I was thinking, well, when you rip your pantyhose, you can just use clear nail polish. So I had some clear nail polish around. So I went over it with clear nail polish. You could see, you know, the nail polish kind of ends here, but it's held up. And that's that white part. That's where the initial, where I did the white acrylic paint pen thing. This is held up for months, and it seems perfectly fine. You know, this part right here doesn't really wiggle much, but the trick was, instead of trying to do tape, is put this hard thing too over, like, so here's the hole, right? So say you're looking at it like this is the hole. This thing, this piece of cardboard goes way beyond the hole. So it might be sucking, 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 but there's no way it's going to suck it through the hole, right? Because it's way, way longer. Almost like you patch an inner tube of a tire, you know, a bike tire or something. I would use silicone all the way. If you go get a tube of that silicone. I didn't happen to have any. Put the silicone on light, let it dry to seal the hole. Then I used cardboard, but I mean, I guess you could. I think cardboard's even better because it's hard and stiff, you know what I mean? And then I would go over even with another, you know, using silicone, because that's even more flexible than nail polish. But in this case, it's worked for months, and it doesn't seem any signs of, you know, wearing out. And even before, when I initially did the duct tape thing, it was actually black electrical tape, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't sucking quite as strong. This is sucking full force again. I mean, it's sucking really strong. It's working out great. I didn't have to buy a new hose. I didn't have to cut this off or try to, because on mine, I think it's different. It just doesn't seem like it just doesn't seem like I could unscrew the ridges like they were talking about in a lot of other videos. So this would, again, is only going to work. But I mean, those puncture holes, mine came from a toothpick, but it could come from all kinds of things. Maybe a paper clip, you know, who knows what. But it was a puncture hole, not where the whole thing is ripped apart and everything. Oh, that was the other thing too, because it had this extra rim here. I was just like, I don't know if I should cut this off. You know, I was just worried about trying to cut it off or trying to get this loose. It worked out perfect. And if it does happen to wear off again in whenever, a year from now or whatever, I mean, it's been months and it's fine, then I would probably just go get some silicone and go over it again. But I mean, definitely, you know, an alternative for somebody who doesn't want to mess around with all this stuff and doesn't want to have to go out and buy a new hose or even shorten the hose that they already have. Alright, so thanks for watching. I hope I helped you out. Talk to you later. Bye.